We've talked quite a bit about our old pal Shiro Masamune, haven't we? From Ghost in the Shell to Appleseed, from Tank Police to Landlock, Masamune has had quite the impact on anime, and Anime Abandoned in particular. We've gone on length before about the frustrating path his career has taken from celebrated manga artist to ridiculous smut peddler, but every career has a beginning. And Masamune's beginning lies here, in Black Magic M66. Not only was Black Magic Masamune's first published manga, not only was it his first anime adaptation, it is to date the only anime he had direct involvement in. As in, he wrote the screenplay and co-directed it with longtime collaborator Hiroyuki Kitakubo, who also directed Rojin Z and Golden Boy. And if all that weren't enough, it's also surprisingly good. Yeah, I know, it looks like your typical old-taku, ultra-violent cyberpunk schlock that Manga Entertainment made their bank on, hence why they originally picked it up, but there is something to be said about well-crafted schlock. Let me put it this way. Sometimes you want filet mignon, sometimes you want a cheeseburger, but whether you want either, you still want it well made. Well, this is a cheeseburger. But it's Black Magic M66. But it's also a cheeseburger. You know what I mean! We literally begin on a dark and stormy night when a helicopter, which looks like it has the aerodynamic design of a shoe, explodes for no discernible reason and its precious cargo spill from its bay. Cut immediately to our heroine in the shower. Now, I know that you think you know where this is going, but it doesn't. An alarm sounds and she runs out of the shower, not even caring that she's wet and naked. The camera remains at a respectful distance, framing her in the least sexual way possible. She doesn't say much as she listens in on a radio about the helicopter crash, just going about her job of collecting her film and camera and locating where the crash is. Okay, not only is that a funny scene with a good twist at the end, you can also tell a lot about the character from what you just saw. She's obviously not modest, she's very resourceful, and she's work-oriented. Plus, look at the little details they animated. Her searching for a pen on her messy desk, the way they bothered to not only animate her eyes scanning her computer screen, but also her shoulders scrolling through the text. They even had her chew her cigarette butt a little as she's piecing all the information together. These are all subtle but wonderful little nuances that really add to the character. So we have a rock-solid character introduction with a startling amount of attention to detail. You have certainly earned my initial attention, Black Magic. It doesn't take long for the black helicopters to arrive and assess the damage.
Major, both pilots ejected and were picked up by reconnaissance 2 kilometers to the north. They've been separately detained and injected with sodium pentothal.
Not because we wanted to calm them down or anything, we just wanted to knock them out and steal their shoes. Hi, Bo Billingsley! Don't worry, Bebop's only 5 more years away for you. After inspecting some now empty pods, the chief here and his men find out that what was lost was a pair of anti-personnel robots that are now operating without a target. Not knowing who or what these bots are going after, they begin sweeping the area. Meanwhile, their black operations are being filmed by a very watchful Sybil.
So, does that mean you'd rather be married to your work?
You know, maybe it gets me off better than you ever could.
And she's a salty mofo on top of it all. Be still.
This story's not worth my life! Did you hear what I said? Well, did ya?
You're always welcome to leave, Richard, but you're gonna have to hike back. Hurry, you might make it back for tonight's news.
Down, boy! Realizing the depth of the situation, the military contacts the scientist who created the 2 murder bots and his badly dressed granddaughter.
We've got troubles with the M66. It's an emergency. Ferris, go get your grandpa. Hurry.
Wait, what's her name again?
Ferris, go get your grandpa. Hurry.
Bueller.
In the business, we call that a layup.
Grandpa, the military wants you again.
What? Don't they know I'm working on my research? Just to answer some petty question.
But they got us this nice house.
Hey, Steve Bloom and Michelle Phan. Wait a minute. Bo Billingsley, Steve Bloom, Melissa Phan, and... What? No Wendy Lee? How in the name of Sagan's turtleneck did I find the one anime dubbed in Los Angeles that Wendy Lee wasn't in? Seriously, look at her IMDb page. The woman is the goddamn Michael Caine of anime voiceover.
Was that an aircraft?
Well, it certainly wasn't the wood sprites playing flutes.
How weirdly specific of you to say, future statistic. Right on the money, the bots killed their first unlucky some bees after they completely maul a goddamn bear. Holy shit! My favorite part is how the bear enters the scene by collapsing in front of the two hikers, implying that the bots murdered the bear, then propped up its carcass solely for the purpose of scaring these two. What, did Bloom forget to turn off their Michael Myers switch? Still, the military believe they got the two bottlenecked.
The M66s should be here by now.
Then evacuate. Vehicles are one of their prime targets.
Wait, I thought they were operating without a target, and that's why they're so dangerous. Well, that, and they're capable of murdering a bear! Sorry, I thought I didn't get enough in that first swing. Still, though. A bear. Unfortunately, Sybil and her pincushion are caught trying to film their operations, which is a real shame because the following firefight deserves recording for posterity. And I mean it, when the bots finally engage the military, it's so much damn fun. First off, I love how they move like insects, crawling around with sudden, jerky motions. I love how they just launch themselves at soldiers like human cannonballs. And I certainly love how the android here picks up a muck-futhering jeep and hurls it at another one. Boom! God damn it. The android here fights like Stewart from Mad TV.
Good timing. Keep your eye on these two.
Yes, sir.
I know I've ragged on Masamune's goofy sense of humor in the past, especially in my Ghost in the Shell 2 review, but here it fits perfectly well. That's basically because Black Magic M66 knows exactly what it is and doesn't aspire to be anything more than that. With Ghost in the Shell, the many digressions about the nature of humanity and transhumanistic themes are somewhat undone by, well, you know. Here, however, everything that has happened fits nicely in what it's trying to do. Be a violent, schlocky action anime. And ask the stonerific question, dude, what if Predator had, like, 2 predators? Military cover-up, firefights with an unknown force that can shoot lasers in a thick forest. This is just Predator times 2, and I'm perfectly fine with that because they take the premise and execute it so damn well. Oftentimes, you don't have to be original. You just have to be entertaining. The soldiers manage to pin the android down and get it to self-destruct, but the gynoid manages to get away. But where is she going? And who is she supposed to be after if they're not supposed to have a target?
I was going to dump the old program and switch it with the real one when I got it to the test site. I never expected all this to happen.
You should have been the target, not my... No! Oh my God.
And if it reaches the city, what then?
Honestly, I had no idea the test contained a real target. Who's it programmed for, Matthew? You have to tell me.
What?
My granddaughter's in danger.
So, Dr. Bloom here programmed his killbots using his own granddaughter as a test dummy for their targeting system. And he thought this was a good idea. Why? Alright, let's try to play devil's advocate here. Pros? Well, they would certainly know how to get her to do her homework. Plus, they gotta be good chaperones when she's out and about. And bear attacks would certainly present no threat to her. But cons, though? Yeah. Okay, this is nothing but a naked attempt to try and build drama halfway through the story, but considering everything, I'm willing to overlook this because so far, the anime has made it worth it. Further, the anime doesn't linger around the story long enough for it to even register. Speaking of, Sybil has managed to escape and has tracked the gynoid back to Dr. Bloom's house, which has been torn up in a desperate attempt to locate Bueller. Thanks to a voicemail message, only the gynoid and Sybil know where she is.
I won't let you kill her! Someone has to protect her!
Yeah, someone has to save Varys. I see what you did there. the most Valkyriest of bitches have their off moments too. And thus the stupid-looking racing unicycles in Venus Wars was born. Actually, she might just be thinking that she's playing GTA 5, because in the very next scene, she's stealing a plane. I have no idea how she got here or how she even knew there was a plane to steal up here, but nevertheless, here she is, racking up a star counter that make Tommy Vercetti proud, and she's reading the flight manual like it ain't no thing. Chrome-plated ovaries on that woman! This bitch puts the man in manicure! Finally, Sybil finds Bueller, and not a moment too soon, as the anime turns from a Predator homage to a Terminator homage, complete with gunning down at a nightclub. From here on out, the anime turns into one giant chase scene, with Sybil having to play Leon to Bueller's Ashley. And just like the rest of the anime, it's all compelling and fun. A particular highlight, small as it is, comes during a moment when it seems that the military has captured the gynoid.
Bingo!
I miss moments like that in anime. A quick, funny visual gag that's only there to get a jab in. It's moments like that that really help separate Blackmagic M66 from its many contemporaries. Even when the action turns goofy, like here when both Sybil and Bueller are trapped in an elevator with only a handy but heavy jammer keeping them safe from the gynoid, you find yourself forgiving it. I mean, when you look at the scene, all it is just the gynoid circling around the two in the world's slowest game of Duck Duck Goose. But since we've more than established just how deadly this gynoid is, this game suddenly turns tense. Don't get me wrong, it's still a silly scene, but there is thematic weight to it. The climax arrives with both Sybil and Bueller on top of a collapsed roof, cornered by the gynoid. But it's nothing a good explosive trap can't fix, and we see the gynoid fall to its demise. Or does it?
Must have been terrified.
I love it. After taking the last 45 minutes of punishment, the one thing that finally puts down the gynoid is a scientist hitting its off switch. Brilliant. And that was Blackmagic M66. Sybil is let go by the military. She makes a less than subtle reference to, you know, and her tapes about the whole affair do manage to get on the air. The end. Blackmagic M66 is a fun little action-packed nugget of nonsense. Made in Japan re-released this back in 2013, but unfortunately the DVD only has subtitles on it, which is fine and everything, but it would have been nice if we had the option for a dub. Well, Cyberpunk Month has only one last title remaining. And really, what else could it be? Till next time.